Everybody, have you heard the news? Everybody's gonna be golden blue. Yeah, that's right, you know it's true. Everybody gonna be golden blue. If you know what's good for you, then you better get out and go blue. Yeah, if you know what's good for you, you better get out and go blue. No matter what you do.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. Shout for the Trucker John, sweet on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. The Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
All right. Mic is on. Check, check, check. Let's see here. Let me make sure. Can I hear myself? All right. Yep. Mic is on. I hear it. We're good. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I look like I have a little bit of a ghost thing going on here. Going with the black background today because I'm wearing the orange shirt. I did want to go orange on orange. Let's see if I can I fix this a little bit? Oh, that's a little bit better. Yeah, that's better. Mucho better. I think that's mucho better. All right. Man, I tell you, I just shut off the AC because it's kind of loud for the show, and it's already getting hot in here. It's right now, it's 11:12 p.m. Pacific time, and it's already 95 degrees. It's supposed to get to, it's set 101, but we're already at 95, but I guess the high is supposed to be, according to my watch, it says 99, and I was looking at other things, it said 101. Next Thursday, we're supposed to hit a high, I think 110 next Thursday. And then from there, it looks like it's going to have a little cooling trend back down to like 100 or 101. So definitely different this year than last year. Because last year at this time, we were still relatively cool temperatures, like in the 80s for daytime highs. We didn't hit our first 100-degree day until well into June, almost the end of June, third week of June, I think. So hotter this year. But anyhow, before I just go off on that tangent, I want to say hi to everybody. Roxanne Armfield's here, first in line in the chat here. Bob LeBlanc is here. Talking about paper clips. I don't know, in your lips or something. Jolie's here. Oh, because someone asked about Jolie's vacay, I think, because it was mostly good. Got to reconnect. Had poorly acting parents. They're it's sort of a role reversal now. Huh? Like when they took you on trips, you and your sister were the poorly acting poorly, and now it's reversed, I guess. Let's see, Philly 3000 here. Good to see Philly 3000 in the chat. Hello, everybody. And Philly 3000 talking about at first I saw the police. I'm thinking you're talking about like police officers, but you're talking about the band, the Police. They went to England to perform. They will be called the Beatles. Okay, I don't know. I'm kind of skipping down, so I missed the threads. I'm not really in on what you guys are talking about. I just wanted to go through and say hi to everybody. David Windler is here. Good to see David here. We've got Mozart, or is it? I always say Mozart. I guess it's a play on Mozart. People are always singing songs from the Magic Flute and the Marriage of Figaro to me. Okay. Yeah, the Mozart reference. Kelly Hell is here. You don't have to turn on the red light. Okay. The Roxanne jokes. Okay, that's where we started because of Roxanne. Then we got into the Police, and it seems like almost every show now we've got a Roxanne reference because of Roxanne. So there you go. Misha's here. For me, it's been Michelle Mabel. So sick of that song. Michelle. Oh, no, I shouldn't do that. You just said you were sick of it. Janelle's here. Hi, truckers and trucklers and sparklers and everybody else. Speaking of sparklers, let's see. Hal didn't have a show this morning. And I just want to say, I heard about Chud. Chud, Hal's cat, that passed away. So quite sad about that. She was very, very elderly cat, and she had been going through some health issues of late, you know, and everything. So, but my heart goes out to Hal and his family. You know, they have a pet for so long. You know, you really grow attached to them, and really, it's really sad. So, condolences out to Hal and everybody there about Chud. Hope he's going to be okay. I know, I believe he's performing tonight at the Sexy Liberal and everything. So maybe send out your thoughts, good thoughts and positive thoughts to Hal, because I know it's probably pretty sad. He's going to go on tonight and perform, and actually, you know, that might be really good for him to like take his mind off of it. Maybe if he's out thinking about his act or whatever. But anyhow, yeah, so I guess it was mentioned here about Chud. I kind of skipped down, but I guess someone mentioned it because someone said, rest in peace, Mama Chud. Russ the Troubadour, so yeah, it was Shannon's Tigri. Shannon's Tigri is here. Good morning to Shannon. Tigri. Big Hook's here. Hi guys, just funny because I was looking forward to my dose of Hal. Yeah, well, you know, things happen. So right now we'll just hope the best for Hal, and we'll see him probably Monday morning. Eli Montoya is here. Huge bummer about Chud. Hal is bound to be emotional tonight. If he allows it, I'll give him a big hug. Yes. Are you going to be there? Are you there? Is it a virtual hug or a real hug? Because if you're there, yeah, give him a big hug from all of us and tell him we're all, you know, we all have him in our heart right now and we're thinking about him. Brenda Triplets here, poor Hal. Chud, yeah, rest in peace, Chud. Mish here is here. I might be persuaded to make an exception from talking to Big Hook. Janelle Walker, I'm sad. She was my favorite. Let's see here. Just skip it on down here a little bit. Seeing who else is in the chat. There's Wes Webb. Wes Webb says, laughing out loud, only the poorly educated voters trust an entire party to make their decisions for them. Oh, Wes Webb, you poor, misguided, you poorly educated career educator. I know, okay, you're not poorly educated, but man, I think I would have hated to have you as a teacher, because I would have been like, that teacher's a dick. He says dick things all the time. Let's see. Mish says, so I'm feeling sad and scared today, guys. Watched BTC segment about maggots doxing the jurors. Oh yeah, yeah, Brian Taylor Cohen. Yeah, that's some scary shit, man. I would be scared if I was one of those jurors, that's for sure. Because these maggots are fucking crazy. They are crazy. Bob LeBlanc, COPD, prescription caps announced. Go Joe Biden, Democratic Party. Yes, stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Wes Webb. Okay, it's not about trusting the, what did you say? A party to do everything for you or some shit like that? Some stupid fucking Wes Webb bullshit? What did you say, Wes? I'm just, I skipped it. I can't find it now. But, look, dude, it's not about, you know, trusting the party to do everything for you. It's about having a fucking party that knows how to govern. It's having a fucking party that doesn't run the country into the fucking shitter every time, like the Republicans do. Like your beloved Illinois Republicans or whatever the fuck you are. That's what it's about, motherfucker. It's about doing things for the good of the country, for the good of the people, and not just the fucking billionaires. You dick. If I was one of your students, when you turn around, I'd be spitting spitballs at your back. Because you're a dick. All right, so where did I leave off at? Bob LeBlanc, asthma inhalers too. Yeah, see, Biden administration and the Democrats, they do good shit. Republicans just do fucking evil shit. So fuck you, Wes Webb. West Web, I've been doxxed. Fuck off. You don't even know what it means. You probably think it means because you had to wear Dockers or something. That's how fucking stupid you are. I'm just scrolling down the chat here. I can't read every chat because otherwise I'll be an hour behind. I kind of want to just say hi to everybody that was on here. MJ Daniels here. Good to see you. Joel, yeah, you're way late in the chat, Trucker Drone. Yeah. Mozart, it's short for Moses Arthur. Okay. Gotcha. See, I mentioned that like how long have I been on now? That was a long time ago. So I am behind here, but Tim Nelson loaded up in trucking. Hello, Tim Nelson. Good to see you. Janelle Espinosa's here. Oh no, says oh no. I don't know. Oh, about Chud, I guess. Yeah, that was sad. MJ Daniels says a good kitty. Philly 3000. You know when your parents didn't want you is when they name you Dick. Or they're just so like socially unaware of shit. I don't know. Brenda Triple people, how will be with people who care? Yeah, there's a good group. That's a good group of folks up there. The sexually liberals with Stephanie Miller and Fugelsang and Frangela. Yeah. I'm sure they're all giving him lots of love and support. I guess I'm assuming he's up there because he was flying to there after yesterday's show. He was getting ready to go, so I'm assuming he's up there. I don't know. Joey, my dad's nickname is Dick. It's fitting. Bernard Tripp, life happens while we're busy making plans. MJ Daniel says, we lost our 16-year-old yellow lab, Maggie, a couple years ago, and now the squirrels, rabbits, and ducks think the backyard belongs to them. Oh, boy. They took over. West Web, no, any teacher teaching civics or constitution tells the kids to study their candidates. So what? You're still a dick. I just love calling you a dick. Vicky Gingras is here. Hi, everyone. Thank you, John, for keeping us updated. I knew he was traveling, so I worried. It helps to hear you cuss and swear. Excuse my soul. All right. Well, I'll do my part in that aspect of it, I guess. MJ Daniel says, duties of the federal government is laid out very clearly in the U.S. Constitution, and the Democrats are the only party coming even close to the original intent. Thank you, MJ Daniel. I could not have said it better myself. Because I just flip people off and call them dicks. So I think yours is much more eloquent and you know, to the point. Jolie, Trucker not having any West Web BS today. Yeah, right off the bat, huh? Now here's West Web. No, it's like saying you are good by association, and that is never the case. Democrats starve Central Illinois. Oh, they're starving. I don't believe you. For one thing, I don't believe you, West Web. I think you're full of shit. If the starving Central Illinoisans are starving because of the Democrats, then it's because they're fucking idiots and they don't vote. Probably they probably don't even vote. They probably just sit there and cry like you do. Honey Buddy for You is here. Good to see Honey Buddy for You. Thank you for being here. Thanks for joining us today as we hang out. I was going to try to change the title to the Hal Sparks No-Show Post-Show Hangout because there was no show this morning. Or there was a best of, actually. So if you guys did watch the best of, I guess it would just be on the WCPT. Is that what's called? Do they have a YouTube site, the WCPT one, or whatever? However they do it. I know they have. You can listen to like audio only on. I think. What's the one? Sometimes I've listened to it on one of those radio ones, you know. So they did do a best of. So if you did listen to that, and then that would be like a post-show hangout. But anyhow, for the most part, there wasn't a new show this morning. What's I get different cats in my yard all the time. Tiffany, I love the John Lennon reference. I skipped something. I didn't see it. I'm sorry, guys. I do have to skip down, or else I just get so far behind. Eve, I can't believe it's almost 11:30 a.m. in San Diego, California. It's almost 11:30 a.m. here in Las Vegas too. It's 11:25. So I guess not sure if I'm real far behind or not. West Webb has chipmunks. Oh, okay, good for you. Good for you, West Webb. Eve's here. Hey, Eve, good to see you. Says all I did was pay my DMV fees. I really cannot believe all the government fees and all increased. Like what the hell? Yeah, those can get a little daunting. Those DMV fees, but those roads don't pave themselves or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. MJ Daniel, I am a Scorpio, so when I use bad language, I go straight to 11. They made a congressional district that connects the smaller cities like a ribbon. Like a ribbon. Go complain to them. Don't complain to me. Complain to them. Be an activist. I can't do nothing for you. Eve, all our fees, license taxes, increased inflation, meter fees, more fees, government fees, agent fees, even to pay the service charge fees to pay the fees of the... Yeah, it is depressing. 50,000, I bet those chipmunks, let's see, are Alvin fans. Oh. I thought you were going to say, I bet those chipmunks are really depressed being in West Webb's yard. They're probably going, that guy's a dick. Yeah, I know. Or whatever. Yeah, that was my chipmunk impression. Britain Triplet, Illinois politics has a long history of corruption with both parties. Big Hook, yeah, Mish, they give off a vibe of being high school dropouts who never grew up. They refuse facts and new information and are always looking for a fight. Let's see here. Philly 3000 says it's almost 2:30 in New York. Yes, we have time zones. Hey, there's Hugger Greeter. Good to see you there, Teresa. Thanks for joining in the chat. We just hang out and shoot the shit. We're sort of in a post... are we still in a post-verdict, Donald Trump verdict afterglow? Maybe a bit of an afterglow, maybe? You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about. I think that, boy, I just wonder if they ran out of depends, because I think Trump is just shitting his pants just left and right. He's going down, guys. He's going down. Whether he does jail time for this one or not, we'll find out on July 11th. But he's going down. He's got the other cases that will be coming up. And whether they're before the election or after the election, it doesn't matter, because he's going to be found guilty of those, and he's going to be in prison. And he's not going to win the election. People are bailing out on him. No matter what they say, oh, this is going to make him even more popular now, or blah, blah, blah. Nah. There's so many independents. Because I guess the Republicans that were going to vote for him, he's going to lose some Republicans. Democrats aren't going to vote for him. There's not going to be much crossover like there was in 2016. There's not going to be any of that bullshit. So it always comes down to that big group of so-called independents or unaffiliated, I guess, or, non-affiliated. And most of those, I think, lean Democratic anyhow. And the ones that were going to vote for Trump, I don't think they're going to vote for him now. Most of them. They either are just not going to vote. They might switch over to Biden. I don't think very many will go to RFK Jr. But he's going to lose the majority of that so-called independent, not affiliated with any party type of a group. That's just the way I see it. So but we don't want to get complacent. I know people don't like to talk like that. People are like, anyone who has any type of platform or whatever, we're afraid to say that, I guess, because then we don't want complacency to set in. We don't want people to say, "Oh, Trump, Biden's got it in the bag. I don't need to vote." No, you need to vote. That's what the whole intro is about, basically, about voting blue no matter who. But it's also just, to remind everyone that we need to vote. We need that big blue wave, basically for also down ticket, because we need to get the House back. We need to keep the Senate, and we keep us rolling, man. We got to keep it rolling. Keep the Bidenomics rolling, man. The big Biden boom. Let's keep it booming. Because the Republicans, all they are is obstructionist. That's all they're about, is obstructing. And whenever they do get, the White House and they get some power in the Congress, then what do? They just lower taxes for the rich, strip away environmental regulations and work regulations. That's their thing. And the reason they get support from the American voters is because they make up these crises. They make up, this border issue, and they make it sound like it's a big crises or whatever. They make, they manufacture these crises. They touch on these hot button issues, and they try to make abortion sound like it's murder, and it's not murder. It's, so then people say, well, you gotta murder the babies. These aren't babies. These are blobs of cells, and it's just ridiculous. So we gotta show up and have a big giant blue wave, and just like I said on the last show, just wash the maggots out of our hair. Just wash them straight out of our hair. That's what we need to do. Just skipping down, a lot of greetings there to Teresa. Blah, 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 gaslighting chipmunks in order to get them to believe in nothing out loud. Here is Kent Bubbles, Kent Bubbles, something like that. Here in Wisconsin, Walker cut taxes on rich folks and raised fees and everything. See? So just exactly what I was talking about. Eve, post guilty. Yep. Funny, a bunch of people got dubbed guilty around here at the same time. It's in the air. West Webb, Springfield is pretty democratic. The outskirts are not. State employees are paid well. They turn into Republicans. Yeah, that's weird. About them turning into Republicans. I'm not surprised about the outskirts not being Democratic, because they're, it seems like the rural communities are more Republican, and the cities are more Democratic. That's just the way. That seems to be the way that it goes. I'm not really sure why the rural areas, because it does seem like there was a time, going way back to FDR or whatever, when farmers and agricultural communities, they were like FDR Democrats, weren't they? Or, it seems like for a while there, through the 50s and stuff, it seemed like there was a lot of these rural agricultural areas that were Democratic. And then I think they switched with Reagan, because they thought Reagan was a farmer, maybe. I don't know. This shows how stupid people are and gullible. Hey, Doug G's here. Good to see Doug G. Good. Thanks for being here. Keith Politz here. Speaker Johnson's response to the verdict is reprehensible. For these guys, I think I did hear it, but I'm not speaking directly to that. A lot of these responses from the Republicans are, do I look huge today? Right. Am I squeezed down enough? I don't know. Maybe I should back up. I feel like I was just too big. But anyhow, these Republicans, of course, they want to just attack the judge, attack the judicial system, all this crap, and they need to be more responsible. They're not being very responsible, are they? Because this is the kind of talk when a Speaker of the House, who's like second in line to the presidency, right? And these things, they carry weight. And when they're talking the way that they're talking, that's what's scary. That's because all it takes is a handful of these deranged maggots to listen to these words and say that, oh, he's saying that we should do something, you know, or whatever. So it's really incredibly irresponsible for these people who claim to be, you know, I don't know, good Christians and good Americans and all that shit. They sure do say a lot of irresponsible things, you know. And it is really, you know, disgusting. And this is why, Wes Webb, I say vote blue no matter who. Because the Democrats, at least in my experience, and I'm talking more of, I guess, from what I see at the national or the federal level. I don't know about your little state in Illinois, okay, whatever. But for the most part, the Democrats, they take what they say seriously. They're about governing. They're about, you know, doing their jobs. And whereas the Republicans, their job is just basically to serve the billionaires. And so they just come up with all kinds of just wacky shit. You know, the Republican Party is the party of wacky shit. There you go. You don't get that kind of insight from most YouTube channels. The Republican Party is full of wacky shit. I mean, I just love that. I just make a t-shirt out of that. T-shirt. Andrea Daniel says, wild cottontail hanging out in our yard will come stand by my feet waiting for her sunflower seed to nibble on. Very little fear of me. Well, you've sort of trained them in a way. You know, they're like, ugh, this man gives me chates. You don't like my music. I don't understand, swing voters. What's the confusion? In the land of confusion. Hey, you don't like my music, by the way. Hello, I don't know if I've seen you before. I don't know if I have. Make sure you hit that like button for me and subscribe if you would, if you haven't already, and hit the share button. Hitting that share button's it's a good thing. It helps grow the channel. But yeah, these so-called swing voters, I mean, I just hope they understand that whatever it is that their issues, I don't think you should just be for the most part, like a single issue voter, I guess. I mean, but whatever it is that they are for, these so-called swing voters or these undecided or, you know, independent, I just hope that they know that if, let's say there's an independent voter, you know, the person's not registered with any party, and they never have been. They because they say that they are independent, or whatever. I just hope. Okay, so let's say they're for Medicare for all, and they would like to see the country get off of its addiction to fossil fuels and be more, get more into green renewable energy, let's say. And let's say that they're really sick and tired of all these school shootings and they would like to see some really comprehensive, serious gun safety laws. And let's say, you know, they really would like to see wages, you know, improve, maybe minimum wage go up or whatever. You know, there's like a handful of issues there. And if that's the things that they're for, then I really hope that they know that in order to get any of those things done, that they have to vote for Democrats. Because the Republicans are pretty much anti any of that shit. Any of that stuff. And so when they say, well, I just go by whatever candidate I like, and I think, so let's say there's a Republican candidate that maybe supposedly would be for those things, maybe they're for choice, they're for, they're all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Are there any Republicans that are pro-choice? I don't think so. So I just don't know how an independent, if they share those kind of, I guess you call them values or whatever it is, as far as being pro-choice and pro-labor and pro-environment, all that kind of stuff. I don't know how you vote for Republicans. Yeah, so I don't get it either. MJ Daniel, or no, oh no, you don't like my music. I don't get it either. Unless they're and if they're, I guess if they're not for those things, I mean, what are they for? So I don't know. It's confusing to me. Pumpkiono is here. Thanks for being here. I don't think I've ever seen your name in the chat, so thanks for being here. Like I tell everyone, like, subscribe, and share. It'd be greatly appreciated. Says newspaper banner, pussy grabber sunk by Pecker. Yeah, pretty much. Philly 3000, I voted for Trump to be the first man on Mars. Yeah, just ship him out to Mars. I'm just skipping down a little bit. Big Hook says he keeps getting more incomprehensible. Trump is the same gripe speech of racism and bullshit the maggots eat up like they have been starved their whole lives. They gobble it up, don't they, Big Hook? They just gobble that shit up. They love that racism shit. So they're like, finally, someone we can really relate to. He gets us. He gets us, man. Yeah. He hates brown people and black people just like we do. He's sent from God. Thank you, God, for bringing us Trump. Because he hates people of color. Oh, we don't say people of color. We usually say the N-word, but I'm not going to make Drunker John do that. That's their little prayer, that they pray to God to bring someone who is sufficiently racist to their liking. Eve says, once you get away from people that are bad, it's fast recovery, as research shows. Right? Don't be afraid to say no. Cannot help you, thugs. Janelle says, the chat stopped on my laptop. Weird. I hope we're still going. I hope we're still running. MJ Daniel says, lots of seriously delusional people think DJT is good for the USA when the exact opposite is the truth. Very dangerous attitude. Propaganda. Right-wing propaganda. Fox News, Newsmax, right-wing radio. They still listen to the radio, by the way. It's the propaganda machine, man. Vicky Gingras says, Trumpers are all torqued up now. I got jumped online. Okay, like virtually. I'm like, oh, shit. By an old friend who just snapped. Why do you hate him? Let me count the ways. Why do I hate Donald Trump? I hate Donald Trump because he is a racist. He doesn't care who he kills to retain power. We saw that with his handling of COVID. He doesn't care what he says, if it's going to result in violence. We saw that with Jan 6. He only cares about himself. The man is a sociopath. I doubt he even loves his own children. I think he only has enough care about them just out of some sort of obligation, just because he supposedly sired them, I guess. The man is vile. He's really not worth the air that he takes up in a room, you know. Hey, Michael McAndrews is here. Good to see you. It says, I vote sending Musk and Dumpy to Mars. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining in and chat. Pastor Bodaster is here. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe. I got 68 watching and 78 thumbs ups. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Those thumbs ups helps us get out into the algorithm and helps grow the channel. Someday this channel will be as big as I don't know, as big as the Big Bear live cam, maybe. I don't know. But Pastor Bodaster says, Republicans, we're poor and need help. Government, here's some programs that could help. Republicans, we don't want government handouts. Trump, please donate money. Republicans, take my money. Yeah, that is so funny, Pastor Bodaster. Yeah. They give their money to the supposed billionaire. And these are people that are living off of, you know, maybe Social Security, or they're just getting by, they're scraping by, and they're giving their money to a supposed billionaire. Look, if it was me, okay, if I was the billionaire and I'm running for president, of course I'm not a Republican, so this doesn't really make, I guess it doesn't make sense, but I would just be self-funded, or, you know, I mean, I guess when you get donations, it does kind of give you a gauge of what kind of support you have. But I wouldn't be like pushing for donations or campaign donations or whatever. And if I was like religious and I wanted to give people Bibles, I would give out I wouldn't sell the Bibles for $50. I would be giving out Bibles for free if that was something that I really wanted to do. Like I felt like, hey, I'm giving people want Bibles. I'm a billionaire. I'm just going to buy a bunch of Bibles and I'll give them out for free. You know, but you can see the insincerity of Donald Trump by the fact that he has to sell an overpriced Bible. I think they're $50, or are they more than that? $100, $50? And then he stuffs all this other stuff into it. The guy is just a grifter. He's a con man. I guess I'm not. So I guess it's kind of hard to compare or whatever. You don't like, my music says, unfortunately, some people actually vote for who they think will win, like it's gambling. Oh, yeah, I guess there's some of that. They just want to go with a winner. That might be what happened in 1980, like, maybe. Because I always try to figure out, how did so many people get fooled? Why did they hate Jimmy Carter so much? I love Jimmy Carter. I was just coming out of high school, basically, and when I voted for Carter in the 80 election, well, I was a year out of high school, I guess. And but I remember, Carter was the president when I was in high school, and I really thought he was a great president. And I thought the whole Iran-Contra thing and the taking of the hostages, U.S. hostages, I thought that was horrible and it was awful. But I didn't blame Jimmy Carter for it. I mean, what the fuck was he supposed to do? And then, I never liked Reagan. He was a former governor. I was born and raised in California, so I knew Reagan. I never was really impressed with Reagan all that much. I mean, he was governor when I was really young, so I just knew his name, and I knew him from, like, was it Wagon Train or something? I remember he would see him on TV, basically in these old westerns. Old movies would pop up. And when he was running for president, I just thought the guy was a clown. I just saw him as a clown. And yet so many people voted for him. And I think the media really played him up. And so I think a lot of people just went with it because they thought that was like the popular thing to do, I mean, people who weren't normally Republicans, or a lot of young voters like me, who hadn't voted, they thought Reagan was like the cool one out of the two or something. I don't know. But that's always been a head scratcher to me. let's see. I'm just skipping down, guys. If I don't read all your chats, sorry, but I got to kind of move along here. Hey, we got Tanya Tipton. Have I seen Tanya Tipton before? Tanya, thanks for being here. Regardless, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share for me. That'd be awesome. Tanya Tipton says, I don't believe Trump when he says he raised that much money because they claimed they raised lots of cash before and they found out they were lying. Yeah, the man has lied so much. You can't believe anything he says. Because he's just a huge liar. Oh, you know what? I know why. Usually I sit on this, I have this little pillow thing, and I usually sit on it to make myself kind of higher in the picture. I think that's the issue I'm having right now. But we're good. Because I like to, I like to kind of show my shirt off. Like here, I'm wearing my little Sun Devil shirt. And that you can't really see it. Anyhow, I guess if I lean back, you can see it. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, the man has lied so much that you can't believe anything he says. You can't believe not one single word he says. Honey Bunny for You says, my neighbor voted for him in 2016. He's still kicking himself. Huge mistake, he said. He believed him until the 30,000 lies later. Wow, it took 30,000 lies for him to finally do. Well, the good news is hopefully he's learned his lesson. And he'll never make that mistake again. I mean, the past is the past. And all we can try to do is learn from it, So hopefully your neighbor there has learned their lesson and will vote blue no matter who, Wes Webb. And by that, I know people say that I'm not a sheep and I don't just, vote no matter who. I understand that. Look, you gotta take some time out to know the candidates, know the issues. I believe in that, but I also don't. I don't know of any Republicans that are worth a shit to vote for. I've never voted for a Republican in my life, so that's that kind of carries a lot of weight with me. I'm not saying that the Democrats are always perfect and they always do the best thing or the right, but they're a hell of a lot better than the alternative, which is the Republicans. Or in some of the more localized elections, there's more maybe third party that wins down in those. But when you get up to the federal elections, the U.S. elections, the U.S. Congress and the White House, it's gonna just be Democrats or Republicans for the most part. Bernie's an independent and. Was it King, who's from the same state, right? They're both independents in Vermont. So you get the occasional one every now and then, but basically they're Democrats or they vote with Democrats and everything. So, I vote blue no matter who, but it's not blindly. I mean, I look at the issues, I look at the candidates. I mean, if there was a Democrat that was just a total shitbag, let's say, just where there was just some poison pills in their campaign platform or their ideology or their history, none of them really come to mind right now. But then I probably would not vote. I wouldn't vote for. I more than likely would not vote for a Republican. I probably just wouldn't vote. If there was really a total shitbag that was running for a Democrat that was running for some office, I would find a third party maybe that I like, some sort of third party candidate maybe. I would look through it. I take the time to do some research on these things, but I'm just saying overall, generally speaking, we need those numbers. We need to get the majorities in the House. We need to get the majorities in the Senate. And of course, we need to get the White House. So that's why I say vote blue no matter who, because we need those numbers. Because we see what happens when a Mitch McConnell is the Senate majority leader. We see the obstruction. We see that we get 3 Trump SCOTUS picks. In one 4-year term, we got 3 Trump picks for the SCOTUS. And that was basically because of because of Moscow Mitch denying Obama the rightful picks that he should have got at least 2, I think, right? So it matters who we vote for, and it matters that we get the numbers. That's why I say vote blue no matter who, because we need to have the majority leadership, the leadership positions in the Senate and the House. Because we see when the House has it, we see the fucking circus, the shit show that happens over there when we have Kevin McCarthy, and then we have MTGs and Matt Gaetz playing all their little fucking stupid games, and they oust McCarthy, and they go through all these things, and then they put in this other clown, and they're all clowns, but they just don't get anything done, and they just obstruct, and they just do stupid ass shit. And meanwhile, when we have a Nancy Pelosi, she fucking got stuff done, but then it would go and die in the Senate when Mitch was there, when Moscow Mitch was there. And he famously or infamously said, this is the place where bills go to die. Because he would just kill them. He would just, round file them. So it's important that we get those majorities in the House and the Senate. That's why I say vote blue, no matter who. It's not about being a robot or a sheep, or it's not about sacrificing your independence, or I'm independent. It's about fucking knowing the math of the matter and how the chambers of Congress are set up. The majority party in each chamber, in the House and the Senate, the majority party, they run the fucking show, man. They decide what comes up to be voted on. They decide who's going to be on the committees, and they decide all this shit. And they hold a lot of power, and they can kill bills. Volumes 1 and 2. So that's why I say vote blue no matter who. It's not about, like I just said, it's not just about being some mindless sheep. It matters. Because it matters who we vote for. Elections have matters. Elections are important, and they have consequences. And we've seen what Mitch McConnell has done. We've seen the shit show that the House Republicans have turned the House into. So you don't see that when the Democrats are in charge. They fucking govern, man. They know how to fucking govern. James Williams is here. Hey, James, good to see you. It says, Nick, since I'm not a criminal, just attracted the reprehensible to the Republican Party, birds of feather. Thanks, James Williams, for being here, by the way. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. I hope you will do that for me. That would be great. Let's see. I'm skipping down in the chat here, guys, because I know I'm really, really super behind. You don't like my music? I like Texas Paul and Hal Sparks. I think that's why you popped up in my feed. Yeah, I like Texas Paul and Hal Sparks too. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found us. You like my music. And I hope you stick around. I hope you stay around. We're here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays at 9 a.m., Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. These are Pacific time zones. So adjust accordingly. Thursdays at 3 p.m. We do an hour warm-up right before Hal on Thursday. And then Saturdays we do an after-show hangout at 11 a.m. Pacific time. So hope you come back. Hope you check us out. Big Hook, West, when they show up at the ribbon cutting ceremonies, when they voted against it, tells you more about the character of the Republicans. And it tells you that what they think of their constituents. They think, and they might be right in great part, as far as their constituents being, I guess, ignorant. Because they'll try to pass themselves off, these Republicans, they'll try to pass themselves off as having voted for the, Inflation Reduction Act and these programs that that are doing so much for infrastructure and bringing these programs and these infrastructure jobs to these states, and then they'll go to the ribbon cutting thing, and they'll act like they had something to do with it, like they voted for it. And if someone doesn't call them out on it, then their constituents are going to just think, yeah, this is a great guy. Look what he brought us. But so they need to be called out. They need to say, hey, why did you vote against this? You think it's such a great thing and everyone's happy about it. Why did you vote against it? They need to be called out. They really need to be called out. I'm just skipping down, guys. Brenda Triplets. I'm just kind of cherry picking chats. So Brenda Triplets says independent voters will not back MAGA, but some are libertarians at heart. So who knows? Well, we saw the libertarians. They didn't like him either. We saw Trump go to the Libertarian Convention in Washington, D.C., and they booed his ass relentlessly. And he got 6 votes. He got 6 votes. And one of them was probably that Delroy or Devon or whatever he was talking about, dude. He got 6 votes. So I don't see the Libertarian Party coming to Trump's aid. They don't like him any more than we do, and maybe for different reasons. But hey, I don't see any support from the Libertarian Party going to Trump. They might hate him for a whole bunch of different reasons, but at least they hate him. The enemy of my enemy is my enemy, or whatever. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Don O'Leary, let's say hi to Honey Bunny for you. Stay Gold says, hey, Stay Gold is here, by the way. Biden was about to fire her and she was blocking investigations against her. Oh, I see. I'm cherry picking stuff, so I don't know who you're talking about. Oh, there's Stay Gold. I'm back. Did you hear? Trump's appointed SSA chief just resigned after being caught going after elderly on Social Security. I didn't hear about that, Stay Gold. I did not hear about that. And so you say Biden was about to fire her and she was blocking investigation. Yeah, this is breaking news for me. I hadn't heard about that, but thanks for bringing that up. We'll check it out. Thank you, Stay Gold. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. That would be really awesome of you to do that. James Williams says, I think Trump's situation is far darker than it appears. We still don't know what happened with the highly classified files TFG had in his possession. Yeah, that is some shit. And like I said, he's definitely gonna. I think that's the big case that's going to be coming up. And I think he's definitely going to I should say definitely a few more times because I'm definitely a good driver. But I definitely think he's going to go down hard for that. Like I said, that was highly sensitive stuff that he smuggled out of the White House and just had laying around, and who knows who he gave it to, or he sold it to, or he trying to get favors for it or whatever. That is a big problem, James. I do agree. That is a agree. Stiggold, I found out about it this morning. It's in Washington Post, Yahoo News, and a few others. Stiggold, I'll check that out. I would definitely check that out. I'm just cherry picking, guys. I'm just sort of scrolling down. If I see a new name like or like Talia 411, I think Talia 411 has been here before, but new today anyhow. Thank you for Talia 411 for being here, by the way. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share. They tried to fact check Biden about crime 50% down, but then didn't acknowledge he was right. Yeah, they don't want to do that. God forbid that Joe Biden be right. Bridget Triplet says Jack Smith knows what horrible things he's done. I truly hope Donnie doesn't get anyone else killed. There's so much blood on his hands, on Trump's hands. I mean, I don't know how the guy sleeps at night, but he's a sociopath, so he doesn't give a fuck. Donald Trump is a sociopath, and he doesn't give a fuck about anyone he's hurt. And he's been responsible for hundreds of thousands of deaths. When you talk about COVID, and you talk about these sensitive documents ending up God knows where, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of spies that end up getting killed. U.S. spies or U.S. that are working for U.S. or whatever end up dead or thrown in prisons and disappeared. That's all on Trump, man. That's all on Trump, you know. All right, guys, I am just, I'm skipping down. Here's from Mr. Spock. Hey, Mr. Spock, good to see you. Live long and prosper. I'm trying to get that there. Good to see Mr. Spock. It says, new grip for Trump. Trump brand Mexican soy and green sausages, a win-win. No more gotaways and expensive food stores. I saw the movie Soylent and Green. I remember seeing that as a kid, and I really enjoyed that movie. I love that sort of string of Charlton Heston movies. Of course, he came out from Planet of the Apes. The first two he was in, right? He was kind of the main guy in those two. And then it was like Omega Man and Soylent Green. I think there was another one of kind of that thing. And then he started showing up in these like disaster movies, you know, in the 70s. I know we don't like Charlton Heston because he's the big NRA guy, but god damn it, I liked him when I was a kid, okay? And I like those movies, and I still like them. Wes Webb says, I guess, how many people bought those Bibles as collect... Boy, I'm really behind in the chat, because I was talking about Bibles like a half an hour ago. Huh? They will misplace them soon. So, boy, am I really that far behind? Here, I'll read from Joel. He says, my dad is MAGA. I've been staying there to help with my mom. Republicans called. They're asking for money. I told them not to call back. We're voting for Biden. My dad was mad. Hey, man, you got to do what you got to do, you know. Stay Gold says, sorry, her name is Gail Ennis. Trump appointed her in 2019 and resigned yesterday after she was caught. Okay, so she was a Trump appointee. That explains a lot right there. Jolie says, if Trucker John skips over something you want read out loud, please feel free to repost. I do skip. I'm skipping along. Hey, Thomas Garrett's here. Good to see Thomas Garrett. Says Prescott Bush was a fascist and his son and grandson became POTUS. Go figure. Yeah, and Donald Trump's father was a racist, probably a fascist too. You know, yeah, it's funny how these things kind of run in through the family, huh? Hey, here's Eve. Hello, Eve. Good to see you. Says, you think, why do they keep asking me that person's name or something really simple? And you think, I told you like 5 times, oh, they have Alzheimer's or disability like Trump, mentally ill. I don't know if Trump has Alzheimer's, but he's definitely, you know, on that slow fade, or maybe it's a fast fade. I don't know. He's definitely fading away. Mentally. I don't know, but I can't diagnose what he has. I don't know what the deal is, but just a lot of, probably just too much snorting stuff. That's why he's incontinent. And he's been incontinent, apparently, like he's 77 now, or whatever he is. So it's not like this was age related. He's been incontinent, fecally incontinent, for decades now. So just imagine, like this started happening he was in his, maybe his late 40s or his early 50s, and you're already being fecally incontinent, and it's you must been snorting a lot of fucking whatever he snorts or does in order for that to happen to you at a relatively young age, early age. I mean, yeah, sure, this kind of shit happens when you're in your 70s or 80s or 90s or whatever, but this has been going on for decades now. So the guy is a fucking mess. Zani says, I pushed another D senator to get a candidate to run in my district, and he did, but she chose to run as a Republican. Wow. Well, you know, maybe that's the strategy to win. I don't know. If you're in these ruby red areas. And then what would happen if that person switched back to Democrat if they did win? You know, I wonder what kind of hell that person would catch, you know. Again, I'm skipping. I'm just sort of like, whoosh. I'm cherry picking. Tally 401. Anyone going to sexy liberal tonight? Yeah, that's a good question. Who's up there in Seattle and who's going? And if you are, I'm jelly. But I hope you have a good time. Should be a good time, and maybe report back on the show Monday here about it. Let us know how it went. Philly 2000 will split proceeds, laughing out loud. See, I'm just cherry picking. Cherry picking. The reason I'm cherry picking is because I kind of wanted to show some of my little memes that I have collected. Stay Gold says, I'll be back later, John. My eyes are bothering me really bad. Oh man, well I hope your eyes. Some of my eyes start to burn and stuff. See everyone later. But thanks for being here, Stay Gold. Hope to see you again. And if your eyes get too bad, you can just rest and close your eyes and rest. But keep the show on and just listen. Mark Chapman, Omega Man, and Soylent Green are the same movie. Nah. I mean, I know you're probably. I know you don't mean literally the same movie, but I don't know. It's hard for me to comment about them because I probably haven't seen them since. I know those came out in like the early 70s, mid 70s. I may have watched them somewhere, maybe again in the 80s or something. So it's been decades since I've watched those movies. So I can only go by the memory of being a young kid or a teenager or whatever, and just liking the movies. So I'm not going to go into a big deep dive or of critiquing, but I remember at the time I really liked those movies. So Mr. Spock says, I had a neon yellow shirt with Daytona Bike Week '84. Used to use it at events to stand out. Well, there you go. I think I'm almost down here. It says, you don't like my music. Liberals ain't anti-sex. That's why I love them. That's one good reason. Roxanne says, thanks, Don O'Leary. They dropped using him as a campaign talking point. I'm glad. Okay, yeah, like I said, I skipped down, so I missed that thread. Guys, sorry. Tim Nelson, vote for the part that didn't try to hang a vice president of the United States. Yes, vote for a party that didn't. That's a good rule to live by. Vote for people in a party that don't try to hang their own people. Philly 3000, yeah, when I get too long on a cell phone, I get an eye strain. West Webb having pretty bad allergies the past few weeks. Sorry to hear that, even though you're a dick, but I'm sorry to hear that. Brendan Triplet, breaking news, Chad Daybell gets death penalty. I am not keeping up. I don't really keep up with those type of stories, but hopefully he deserves it. I don't know. I don't really know much about that, or not. Probably not at all. Probably don't know anything about it. You don't like my music. George Carlin nailed it when he said, "It's really easy to be anti-abortion when no one wants to have sex with you." That's funny. Tim Farrell, I Am Legend equal. Yeah, I know that Omega Man was based on I Am Legend, but I still like the movie. My memory of the movie, which is decades old now, I like it. If I were to watch it now, maybe I might watch it and go, oh, this is crap. I don't know. But as a 12 or 13-year-old watching it, I fucking dug it. Michael McAndrews, that reminds me, Dumpy Stump wants to eat someone. Get in my tummy! I don't know. Eileen Cause here, Fancy High, been listening quietly. So sad for Hal. Hey Eileen, thanks for being here. Good to see you. And yeah, it's sad. We were talking about that earlier, about Chud. So rest in peace, Chud. Hope that all's well with Hal and everything. James Williams says, Solvent Green was old people. Should I be nervous? Wasn't someone talking about spoiler alert? Brendan Triplet says, George Carlin said, if you're pre-born, you're sacred. If you're preschool, you're fecked. I have a feeling he didn't say fecked, but you know what I mean. West Webb, you might all be surprised that I am against the death penalty. Not really that surprised. Mark Chapman, the last man on earth, or so he thought. I don't know. Mr. Spock, my brother, I keep rubbing my shoulder. I'm still having shoulder issues. Sometimes it feels like it's getting better, and then sometimes it's not. I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to do the acupuncture thing like Hal's doing. So yeah, Mr. Spock says, my brother took the third Yamaha Z500 bike imported to Canada to race in '84 Daytona. They wouldn't let him race the bike because it wasn't sold in the States. Raced his stock 83 GS 750 as backup. Mr. Spock says the bike did 154 through the speed trap. Wow. That is amazing. I can't really imagine going that fast on a motorcycle. One time I was on a Ninja. It was a friend who he just bought this Ninja bike, and I don't know what the CC, what size, I don't even remember, but it was a really nice one, brand new, just bought it, and he let me ride it. Like he said, hey, go take it for a ride, take it for a spin. So I just hopped on it. I'm like 18. No helmet, no leathers or anything. I was working at a gas station at the time when he pulled up, and he's like, "Hey, you want?" He was the guy. He also worked at the gas station, I think. So he's like, "Look what I got!" And he's got this new Ninja, and so I just hop on it. I gun it. I take it off, and I'm just going straight down this road. It was like this long straight road, and I just wanted to see how fast I could go. And I'm just like, I go through the gears, and I'm just like winding it out, man. That thing is going as fast as I could, and I'm looking at the speedometer, and I'm looking at, I look down the speedometer, and it's like 80, 90, and then I hit 100, and then I just felt a slight little wobble or something, and it scared the shit out of me because I was not an experienced motorcycle rider. I mean, I've had motorcycles, and I've some dirt bikes, and but I wasn't like, there's a lot of people I know that are just been on bikes like every day of their lives, for like every day for like years and years and years. Those guys, are different than me, where I would be on a bike here and there, sometimes here, it was just like not that much. It was just sporadic times, you know what I mean? So when I got this bike, I wasn't really a super experienced bike rider, but I remember I took it to 100, and I just felt this little wobble, and it just scared the shit out of me, because then I had this sort of thing went through my head, like, of me just like wiping out, and with no helmet, no gear, and just all my skin getting wiped off my bones or something. So then I just backed it off. I think I hit like 101 or something, and then I just backed it off and slowed it down, and then I finished my ride and went back to the station. And he's like, yeah, what'd you think? I just go, man, this thing's fucking awesome. But that's the fastest I've ever taken a bike up to, and that fucking scared the shit out of me. So I can't even imagine going 154, and that was the backup bike. So there's that. So now I just wanted to show a couple, how I do my memes and stuff. Let's see, we got a couple things here. Here is, in the words of Trump supporters, lock him up. Let me see if I can shrink that down a little bit. Lock him up. Isn't that just like poetic justice? Isn't that poetic justice? Remember all those chants that he led in 2016 running against Hillary, saying lock her up, lock her up. While at the same time that he was saying that, he was committing the crimes that he just got convicted for, that he just got found 34 counts of felonies. He was doing that at the same time that he was saying lock her up. What a fucking, hypocrite doesn't even cover it. What a fucking, it's all this projection and just, everything he does is projection. Everything he calls someone out is what he's doing. He's the criminal. Hillary was not the criminal. Fucking, he was the criminal. And as he was criming, he was saying lock her up. So yeah, lock him up, you motherfucker. You piece of shit. Donald Trump, you are a piece of shit. And I really hope that Judge Merchan, I think that's how you say his name, gives him jail time. A lot of people are saying he's not going to get it because it's the first offense. And I think the real reason is because he's a former president, and but they'll use the excuse of it being a first offense. They won't have that excuse when he gets found guilty of those documents charges, and when he gets found guilty of trying to extort votes from the Georgia AG or the governor or whatever it was, Secretary of State or whatever. He won't have that excuse then. But for this one, he has that excuse, I guess. Or at least the judge will have that excuse if he doesn't sentence him to prison. But I find it kind of odd. I believe Michael Cohen was a first-time offender. And he got locked up for his part in this, basically for lying for Trump. But, I think Martha Stewart was a first-time offender. She got jail time. So, but like I said, the real reason, if he wasn't the former president, they would probably, and he got convicted of 34 felonies. I mean, what do I know? People are saying that it's normal. The so-called legal experts are saying that it's like normal or whatever for a first-time offender. They call this a low-level felony, So they say it's not uncommon for them to just get probation. But I don't know, was the Michael Cohen, was that a higher level felony than what Trump just got convicted of? And he got sent to prison. But anyhow, he's So whenever you see Trump, if you happen to walk by and you see Donald Trump, just say lock him up. Or lock you up, or whatever, because he deserves to have that thrown back in his face. After all those times that he led the chant of lock her up, talking about Hillary. So he definitely deserves to have this thrown right back in his face. Right back in his face. Surrender Monkey's here. Surrender Monkey says, first offense, yeah, no jail. 30 plus crimes after that should count. Yeah, really. Like okay, count one, that's the first offense. Count two, second offense, you're going to jail, young man. That's what I would say. Fancy says he also violated gag order. Oh, yeah, the gag order. And I think he's violated it again since the verdict was read. The judge could give him extra time for that. James Williams says, if he wasn't the past president, he would be so deep in prison they would have to feed him with a slingshot. Yeah, like I was saying, that really is the real reason. They don't say that, and by they I mean legal experts don't even say it. The judge won't say it. Isn't going to say, well, because he's a former president. They're going to say they're going to hide behind the first offense excuse. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But it seems like if he's on house arrest, they got to. How would they do that? Or if he's on probation, like someone said in one of the chats, like he's not going to be able to go to Canada. Although he doesn't go to Canada, doesn't need to go to Canada, but he can't go, if he's a convicted felon, there's a lot of places that won't let him in, probably. That's one thing. Michael Andrews, I vote for putting Dumpy Stump in jail for the rest of his life. Absolutely, he deserves it. You don't like my music? He should have been charged with the insurrection first. Yeah, I don't know how they determine that, like who goes first or whatever. Hey, Deanne Tronsdale's here. Good to see Deanne. It says, Brenda Triplet, that's so hard. I always say this will be my last dog, and I think that I'm in it this time. When my 3-year-old white lab goes, so will my dog ownership. Yeah, it's tough having pets, and we usually outlive our pets, unless we're really old. Then might be the other way around. But we usually outlive them, and it's sad to see them go. It's always sad. Fancy said New York's mayor said Rikers is ready for him. That's funny. Philly 3000 says the Democrats have to go out to the man behind the curtain and pull it open for the megas. Yeah, let's reveal the truth. Big Hook says Trump is danger to society and all the rules that allows society to operate. Personally, I think where Trump belongs is Gitmo. Hey, Gitmo, Rikers. This was a state court, so it'll probably be something in New York State, right? No clearance, said Zunny. Yeah, no clearance. Open did 3 years. Just looking down here. Mr. Spock says, the first thing I remember after the crash, I said I missed the thread on that. Apparently you got in a crash. Was looking down and seeing my clothes shredded off me. A woman I knew brought me some clothes. I reach into my pocket and give her a 5, I guess, grams of hash. Not sure that loud. Yeah, I'm at the end of that thread there, so I guess you got into a motorcycle wreck, maybe? Since I was talking about motorcycles, and we were talking about motorcycles. James Williams says, Trump was impeached for the insurrection. The Republicans voted against it. Yes, they did. They apparently are pro-insurrection. So many of them that voted, of course, against that were a part of it. Or had some, I think they were either sympathizing with it, or they had some part in the planning, or they had some pre-knowledge of it. They should all be brought up too, on some kind of impeachment or charges or something. Michael Andrew says, did you see what they did to a girl who accidentally registered for voting when she wasn't supposed to? I did not see that, Michael, but I know there's been other stories in the past about that. My shoulder is so sore. Tim Farrell, I'm not sure if Trump lost his right as Republican nominee to receive intelligence briefings or not. He should not get it. If he's a convicted felon, he should not get any of that shit. Like my music, the idea that felons can't vote but can be president is nuts. Yeah, but, like I've said, all of the Constitution says you just have to be 35 years old and be a U.S. citizen. Like a natural born U.S. citizen. So I think if there's any changes to that, it has to take like an act of Congress to amend the Constitution, right? And that takes big numbers. Zani says, does Florida allow felons to hold public office? But that's the wrong way about it. We need to get people to the polls. That's right, we do. Vote, people. Vote, vote, vote. Vote like your life depends on it, because I think it does. I think it does. Hey, we're at 96 thumbs ups. It'd be nice if we can get to 100. Ding, 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 ding. Let's get to 100 thumbs ups. Thank you, everyone. We got 60 watch and 96 thumbs ups. If you haven't hit that thumb yup yet, Please do get us to 100. That'd be awesome. And like, subscribe, and share. That's a great way of supporting the show, is sharing the show and subscribing. We have other things too. We got super chats, and we got memberships, and buy me a coffee, all that good stuff. So to support the show, your support is always appreciated. Deanna Tronsdale says it varies from state to state on voting rights of felons. I think, yeah, it does. It does vary. It does vary on that. Honey Bunny for you, Surrender Monkey. I don't think he'd flee to Russia. I think he'd go to Saudi Arabia. I was thinking Saudi Arabia too, Honey Bunny. That was my. And then somebody said it'd be like Hungary, because I guess he gets along really well with is it Erdogan, or I forget. I confuse Hungary with that other one that have kind of taken countries that were really doing well, I think, getting more and more democratic, and then they just turn them right around into being a little more fascist. Hey, look at there, Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much for the shoulder rub. Thank you, Michael. Always appreciate the support. Yeah, I know. There's this. I need to get massage or acupuncture or something. I don't know, because I can almost feel it right in here. It's like, I think I pinched a nerve somehow. I don't know how you pinch a nerve. I don't really do anything. It's not like I'm baling hay, you know. But there's something going on with this damn shoulder over here. It does feel good when I do this, though. I don't mean to be giving myself a massage while on camera. Prefer to do that off camera, if you know what I mean. Catfish and Hound is here. Good to see you. Yeah, even if it would pass in the House, it would go to the Supreme Court, and they would blow it out of the water. Yeah, you can't really depend on them for much now, huh? Brenda Triplett said Trump had all those Russian women staying at his one property having anchor babies. Hope they don't seek office. Philly 2000, but I don't know about those two Supreme judges. They kind of have their own problem, but if they thought helping Trump will make their problems go away, I have a bad feeling that they will. They're totally compromised. They're not conflicted or whatever. They're compromised. Yeah, Alito and Thomas, they need to go. I mean, God, if we could impeach them, if we ever get the numbers to where we can impeach some people, Alito and Thomas would be top of my list. They need to go. They really have no business being in the court. Neither does Kavanaugh. Neither does Amy Coney Barrett Dildo, and neither does Gorsuch, for that matter. But I think we've got Alito and Thomas really dead to rights. I mean, there's nothing. What can you say? I mean, these guys are definitely taking bribes. They're taking gifts, elaborate gifts. And we're not talking about creative oranges or something, because sometimes they'll bring up like Sotomayor or somebody got some oranges or something. It's like, okay, big fucking deal. They got some oranges. But with Thomas, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, $500,000 in trips, and vacations, and hundreds of thousands of dollars for an RV. And I don't know how much for the house. Some dude, this Harlan jackass dude bought his mom a house or whatever. I mean, we're talking, if you add it all up, probably millions of dollars worth of shit he's gotten from this Harlan dude, right? And Alito, same thing. He's gotten all kinds of elaborate gifts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. That should be enough right there. Boom, you're gone. You were kicked off the court. There should be no question about it. But of course, Wes, our lovely Republicans, would never do that. They would never fucking vote to impeach those motherfuckers. Your lovely Republicans that you love so much, they don't mind. They having judges on the Supreme Court that take elaborate gifts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, probably adding up into the millions of dollars. They see no problem with that. But people like Wes, they'll vote for Republicans because they think that their Illinois Democrats are corrupt or whatever. So they'll sit there and prop up the Republican Party. It's people like you that has put us in a mess. Stop voting for Republicans. I don't give a fuck about your little Illinois shit. I don't know what's going on there. I don't live there. You got a problem there with the Democrats? Then fix the problem. Start voting for better Democrats. Write a letter to the editor. I don't know. Write a letter to the Democratic Party of Illinois. Tell them to stop putting up some shitty fucking candidates. Be an activist. I can't help you in Illinois. I don't live in Illinois. But it's because of people like you that we get Republicans that are able to put Republican judges on SCOTUS and not give a fuck about judges receiving hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars worth of gifts and prizes. So, yeah, if we get the numbers to impeach, I say impeach Alito, impeach Thomas right off the bat. Boom, boom, they're gone. Day one. As Trump likes to say, day one. I would only be a dictator for one day. Day one. Well, okay, day one, we get the numbers we need to get. Alito, you're gone. Thomas, you're gone. They gotta go. Gotta go, they gotta go. They got to go. They got to go. Because you know they suck. Hey, Jolie said 100 likes. Thank you so much. Yes, 103. You guys are so awesome. Awesome. 103 likes. I do appreciate your liking me. I feel liked. Everyone likes to feel liked, right? Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. You guys are really great. James Williams says, vote blue down the ticket and impeach Alito in the fall. Thomas is just a sycophant that must recuse. I think he should be impeached also. He got a lot of shit from that Harlan dude. Probably millions of dollars worth of shit. If you add it all up. I mean, they were just saying the other day, $500,000 worth of vacations and trips. That's not including the motorhome. That's not including the house for his mom. That's not including whatever else. So I bet you at least $1 million. That's not the same as a crate of oranges. You know, you got the $1 million worth of gifts and prizes over here, and then you got like I don't know, or a box of bagels or something. I think there was one of the Democratic judges, they always like to bring up that they got like, I think, a box of bagels or some oranges or something from somebody. Because you got that down here, and then you have over here hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not into the millions, of gifts and prizes for the Republicans. SCOTUS's. And that's just the two that we know about. I mean, Hanna Kavanaugh, who apparently was $500,000 in debt, in like credit card debt and other debts, all of a sudden those debts magically disappeared. Just as he was being confirmed, or after he got confirmed, or whatever, I don't know. But how'd that happen? Who paid those debts all of a sudden? Did he win the lottery? I never heard that he won the lottery. I mean, so, you know, somebody paid off those debts for Kavanaugh, and I don't think it was Kavanaugh. So there's another one right there that should be looked into. Kim Proud Dims here, Puff Puff Pass. Thank you, Kim, for being here. Good to see good old Kimchi for being here. Always good to see Kim. Big Hook, expand the court and rebalance sanity. Biden can do that if we give him all three branches and we eliminate the filibuster. Oh, yeah, just nothing minor. You know, Hal Sparks had a theory about if we expand the court, that in order to do that, those are going to be put in conservative or red-leaning districts or whatever. So, you know, I don't know. You don't like I like John Spirit. Don't just complain, act. Hey, thank you so much. Kim Proud D, Proud, hugs to all. Trucker John, Maz, Don, Mr. Spock. Hugs back at you. Brenda Triplett says, I listen to Supreme Court cases and Alito's politics show clearly through his questions. I know, I've seen some of his clips of him, and he's just one of those people that you're just like, really? That's what you think? How do you think the way you think? I mean, obviously this is an intelligent man. He's went to whatever, Harvard probably, I don't know where he went, but went to law school, became a lawyer or whatever, became SCOTUS. I mean, you can't be just a complete moron. There's got to be some intelligence there in order to hold that position and to get where he's gotten. So I'm always perplexed. Like, how does a person think that the way they think? How does that get into this guy's psyche? I don't get it. Tully for one, impeach them. Their wives are dangerous too. Yeah, especially Jenny. Hey, Deanne Tonsdale with super chat. Shoulder pain solidarity. It sucks, but you don't. Oh, thank you, Deanne. Thank you so much. Always appreciate it. I'm going to give you a like and a heart. Thanks so much, you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm not doing this for sympathy or whatever. I just sort of unconsciously do it, and then I see myself in the in the camera here, and I'm like, that looks kind of stupid of me doing this, but I just can't help it because it's really sore. It really is sore. I almost feel like I need a sling thing or whatever you call it. I don't know. So I'm trying, and then I go like this. I cross my arms. That kind of helps a little bit, but then I feel like it's kind of bad body language to cross your arms. It's almost. I always felt like it was bad body language, like you're like closing people off or something. But I don't know. I guess I got to do what I got to do. David Willer, Bible $60. Okay, going way back to earlier in the chat. Yeah, I said they were $50. Apparently they're $60 Bibles. And like I said, if I was a billionaire and I wanted to give out, I wanted people to have Bibles. If I was a Christian billionaire and I thought it would be a good thing to hand out Bibles, I would give them out for free. But we know that Donald Trump is always strapped for cash, apparently. And everything he does is transactional, and it's about, it's just about trying to make a buck, even with Bibles, But like I said, if I was he claims he was like worth 8 or 9 billion, or maybe over 10 billion now, or whatever. Buying a whole shitload of Bibles wouldn't really be that much. You could buy them at cost. You could buy them in bulk. You're probably paying. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know. I've never bought Bibles in bulk. But if you bought, let's say you bought 1 million Bibles, I mean, what would you get? Or what would it cost you? $5 a Bible? Or I don't even know what the cost is. I don't know what the bulk price is. But if you're worth $10 billion, that's chump change, man. But he doesn't. He does everything as a grift. Everything is transactional. Everything is to try to make a buck because he doesn't. He's apparently cash poor. I think maybe he has billions of dollars worth of buildings and real estate. I don't know, but he doesn't have any cash because he's always trying. He's always scraping for cash. It seems like, and he certainly has no problem in taking money from people who don't really can't afford it. Mozart says, Dems should be headed for a blue wave. Dems should trounce this GOP, and yet Dems may lose. That should tell you something about Dems and their messaging. No, I support the Dems. I think it's more about the media. Because I think the Dems try to get the message out, and I think they have messaging. But I think it's more about mainstream media giving so much coverage to the Republicans, and they have since Rush Limbaugh days and Fox News. I mean, I put most of it on that, but I'm sure it's a combination of both, I guess. But I don't know. I think that Democrats are doing a lot better job of messaging nowadays. I think they are. I think they're learning. I think they're getting the message out. I think they really are. I think they're utilizing the internet a lot more to get their message out. I think President Biden is doing it a lot more than I remember past Democratic presidents. So I don't know. I think they're improving, and I think I put more of the blame on mainstream media wanting that horse race, and so they sort of tip the scales in favor of, like Trump, because it brings ratings, and that's sad. That's unfortunate. My theory is, hey, I think you might get just as many ratings from an ass kicking as you do from a close race. And they shouldn't be afraid of Biden trouncing Trump. I like that. In this election. But maybe it doesn't get as many ratings. I don't know. They've probably done studies on it. Deanne Tronzel says, yep, OG kimchi. You don't like my music? I didn't know what a proper sandwich was until I met my Jewish wife. Oh. Okay. Honey Money for you. This musical system is really corrupt now. Leonard Leo is involved. The musical system? I don't know what that means. I do not know what that means. Keith Polite says Keith Buttigieg was calling for SCOTUS to be expanded back in 2020 primary campaign. I've been saying that all along, for a long time too, actually. Probably even before Pete Buttigieg. But then Hal brought up some stuff, and I don't know if I haven't really looked into Hal's theory about how it might not be the best thing to do. It might just end up getting more conservatives on the court, because they would have to make a compromise in order to get, because they would need Republican votes to get it done, and so it might not be the end all be all that we think it would be. It might not be where Biden can get 4 more picks or something, or Democratic picks, so it might not be what we think, as good as we think. But I don't know. I really haven't, other than Hal, I've heard no one else really say that, so I don't know. Big Hook, here is the scariest possibility ever. If Trump gets elected, Alito and Thomas will retire, and Trump will expand the court, and we will lose everything rights and freedom-wise. We'll see. I don't know. For one thing, I don't think Trump's going to get elected. Now, I always am hesitant to say that, because in 2016 I didn't think he had a chance either. All the way up to election day, I didn't think he had a chance in hell. And then we all know what happened. So we don't want complacency. We want to make sure we all vote. We have the big blue wave. But having said that, I mean, I can't see there being a swing of 8 million votes, right? Because, Biden won by about 8 million votes in 2020. I can't see it swinging the other way. I really can't. But we can't take a chance. We can't chance it. So please, everyone vote. Get out there and vote. You don't like my mic? Selling Bibles is the pinnacle of blasphemy. Well, I mean, people do sell Bibles. If you go into a Bible bookstore, they sell Bibles. I mean, but, it's not like, I don't see it as them like, gouging the price or whatever. You know what I mean? I think there's a difference. I think you can sell a Bible. I think you can have a Bible supply store, a Bible store that sells, Christian, religious Christian, they sell all kinds of stuff. I think that's okay to do that. I just don't see it as being like Trump, who's obviously jacking the price up and just he's never even read the fucking Bible. He's only doing this obviously to try to raise cash. That is blasphemy in the way that Trump is doing it. But if there are Bible salesmen or whatever, or you know, there are outlets that sell Bibles. They sell Bibles to churches, I suppose. I know there are organizations that do, you know, the old, what was the organization that put the Bible in every hotel room? They were giving those out for free. But, you know. Anyhow, Kim Pradim, all 11 ounce surrender, you freak, love you. Okay. I'm just cherry picking here. Eve said, back when eating late breakfast, I have major shoulder pain and carpal damage. Oh, wow. So not that anyone asked, you need those big rubber bands, physical therapy, and it's just a pull with both hands. Oh, wow. Thanks, Eve. I should look into that. Something's going on with my shoulder. And I hope you get some relief and some physical therapy there that helps, because it's not fun. Pastor Bodasser, Bibles are free. Well, there are free Bibles, but I've also bought a Bible. I've bought Bibles at a Bible bookstore. So they're not all free. And my point is that just because a bookstore or whatever sells a Bible, that I don't think that's blasphemy. But I think the way that Trump is doing it, it is a bit blasphemous, because he doesn't give a fuck about the Bibles, and I think he's probably, you know, charging way more than what they're worth. Mozart says no, all his properties are not his. He loaned against them. Yeah, right. So I don't know. Like, he claims to be this multi-billionaire, but he's not. I don't think he is. James Williams says selling Bibles isn't a bad thing in itself. Wrapping it in political bullshit is. Yeah, exactly. West Web says the most interesting candidates get the most attention. Yeah, going back to the horse race and the mainstream media. But I don't know. I don't think it's just about interesting candidates. I think it's deliberate. It's a deliberate thing to really sort of influence, I think, the campaign. And not necessarily for votes and like telling people who to vote for, but definitely influencing as far as they just want to get eyeballs on their shows, on their TV shows. Because I don't really think Trump is any more interesting than anyone else. Because when I see him, I get grossed out. He grosses me out. And that to me isn't interesting. So, Eve says it's the ligaments loose, mine snap against bone, hurt. Yeah, I can feel a ligament when I do this. Like, I think it's a ligament, like moving around, kind of like. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but there's something loose in there. I can't throw my fastball anymore, man. Kim Proud Dim says he is selling his name, and as that tarnishes, he needs more trinkets to tempt the same overtapped group of illiterates. Mr. Spock says a guy at work once, huge guy, after hours at a bar, belittled a small black guy with racial slurs. He got a knife from his car and almost unalived him. He kept his job because he's pop in the union. Okay, that seems kind of like a random story. That seems rather random. I don't know. Of course, I am skipping through, so I might be in the mid-thread of a story that was going on there. Eve says big rubber bands are fantastic and a good bust exercise too. Well, there you go. Because who doesn't like a nice bust? Need to work on those. West Web says I have a whole bunch of Bibles. I bet you do. I bet you do, Mr. Bible Man. Mozart says, West Web great. Dims are going to lose now because we criticized them in Trucker John's chat room. That will sway this election. Yeah, we do have, we got to be careful. Because the Trucker John live stream chat room, it's more influential than you may know. So, yeah, we got to be careful. West Webb says, my church will give you a Bible if you ask for one. A lot of churches do that. Bernard Triplet says, all those MAGA politicians want is to be guests on TV shows. They got to get that misinformation out there, huh? The disinformation. Deanne Tronsdale says, you don't like my music. Oh, you don't like my music. That's actually a great idea. It can be pretty overwhelming, especially in King James form. So I'm sort of mid-thread there. Let me go back. What did, I bought the Bible for Dummies. Seriously, it really is good. Oh, yeah. I like the different interpretations. I don't like King James. King James, like, I can barely handle, Shakespeare. And King James is even worse than Shakespeare. I cannot really read too much. Although New Testament King James is not as bad as Old Testament. I really hate the Old Testament. I mean, it's a kind of a cure for insomnia, I think. Most of it. I mean, a few books of it are, like, you can start off with, Genesis, but it can get tedious. A lot of these books in the Old Testament are really kind of boring and tedious. The New Testament is a pretty good read, actually. I enjoy reading the New Testament. I haven't read the Bible in years and years and years, but back in the day, I used to read the Bible, and I read the New Testament several times. I don't know if I can't remember if I ever read the entire Old Testament. I think I gave it a shot quite a few times, and I just got so bored with it. I don't know if I ever finished the Old Testament. I may have. I think I did read the entire Bible once. And then I tried reading it again several times, and I just can't get through it. It's just so boring and tedious. And even with the, I think one of the translations I got was the New American something or other. I don't know. There's a few of them, and then I also had that one. My daughter threw it away because she thought it was stupid. But I had that one Bible from. It was really popular in the 70s. It was written really just like an American English. And she tossed it out. Because we were going through my stuff when I was moving out of my place in Rosemont, and she's like, "Ew, this book is like some stupid hippie thing or whatever." And she threw it away. But anyhow. I like the newer translations. The King James is really, unless you're like into Shakespeare or something, it's really hard to read. Anyhow, Mozart, do you know who William Shakespeare was? He's the fella that wrote the King James Bible from Gangs of New York. That's funny. Eve, I have to do this. I have to do the smog car thing. How horrible! That is my point. Why are the citizens paying for all this for our damn cars? She's when corporation smokestacks do it, not us. We pay. Well, the cars do it. Your tailpipe emissions do it. So that's why you should buy an EV, because you'll have no tailpipe emissions. Everything the government does now is some new penalty program where the damn citizens pay. The smog charges are such a freaking scam, and we pay. I know it's frustrating, that's for sure. But if you buy an EV, I don't think you have to worry about doing smog checks, because there's no tailpipe emissions. Kim Trout Dim says anachronism is something out of place to a time period like a car beside a Renaissance joust. Yes. Again, I'm out of the threads here. I'm just plucking stuff. I'm cherry picking, guys. David Windler says smog shops very widely. 2106 Wycliffe translation is fun to read. Middle English Bible. Mozart, the Me Generation Bible. I forget the name of it. It was the one. It was like The Way. It said The Way, I think, and it had like 70s graphics on the cover, What's with Illinois is big time blue where I live. Talia, Mr. Spock. Mel Brooks is trying to get unemployment benefits from B. Arthur is priceless. Eve, yeah, but our cars are fine and we still have to go test. I don't know what state you live in, Eve. It is different in different states. But yeah, it's a hassle and it's costly. I agree. Brenda Tripp said, in the Bible, Satan is the villain. Sorry, I spoiled the ending. Brenda, spoiler alert. Mozart, I gotta go get lunch, and yeah, we'll be signing off here in a few minutes. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Before we go, I did have another little meme I was going to show. Let's see. I kind of like this one. We got Hillary just laughing it up. Look who up. I mean, lock who up. Lock who up? That should have been there the whole time, right? So we got Donald Trump over there. Let me move that up. Move that over there. There we go. Lock who up, motherfucker? Poor Hillary. She should have been president, man. I'm with Stephanie Miller on this. I'm going to die angry about that one. I mean, there's no way that she should have lost to Trump, man. And you know, I blame the Russians. I really do. Mr. Fox says, where's 56 Urges? He's AWOL. Yeah, I don't know where he is. He hasn't been around lately. Maybe I pissed him off. I don't know. The last couple of shows, I haven't seen him. So I don't know. Hope he's all right. Now here is. Oh well. I want to bring this up. I think June. I think is the start of. I think this is like Gay Pride Month or something. I think, right? I know I sound so stupid. I should know. I mean, since I'm bringing it up. But we should just start here. We the people means all the people. So that's my little shout out to the LGBTQ plus community. This is, I think this is Gay Pride Month. So, you know, let's celebrate that. You don't like my music? It is John Milton who writes about the war between the angels and Satan's fall. I believe you're right. Talia says, yes, Hillary should have been president. 2116, ironically, I think Donnie would be richer and more successful if he had lost in 2016. They say he made a bunch of money. You know, so much for the the emoluments clause or whatever. But and he really wasn't expecting to win in the beginning. I think he was just trying to, you know, promote his show or whatever. Mr. Spock, he commented on my video today. Well, I hope he's okay. I guess he's okay. I don't know if he's mad at me. Maybe I don't do enough filters for him. I don't know. Not really sure what's going on, but 56 Nick Rich, we miss you over here in the Trigger John chat. So if you want to stop by, just say hi. You know, you don't have to stay forever. But Tally411 says they should use subliminal messaging to deprogram them. Yeah, I don't know, man. What if we can get through to them? I mean, some will fall away. He's going to be layer by layer. I think is going to fall away. But he's always going to have Trump will always have this sort of base of these just deplorables, as Hillary said. But hopefully that base is shrinking a little bit, little by little, you know. Kim Pradam, do I have to take the rainbow flag down every night? Flag etiquette is important after Alito. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's just like the U.S. flag that you have to take down at night, or shine a light on it if you're not going to take it down. I don't know what's going on in the chat. You guys are having a little flame war there. I've been cherry picking stuff, so I'm not, you know, I'm missing some of these threads of the conversations. So I don't know what's going on. I hope you guys, you know, can keep it civil. We're all entitled to our own opinions, and we can voice our own opinions. I have no problem with that. Just no name calling, please. The only one allowed to name call in here is me. I know that's hypocritical of me. And half the time when I call Wes a dick or something like that, half the time it's kind of tongue in cheek, by the way. Half the time, but the other half time it's not. Half the time it's very serious, and the other half the time it's tongue in cheek. I guess I'm not a very good example about the name calling thing, because I kind of pick on Wes and stuff like that, but I don't know what's going on in there, you guys. But let's be civil. You can have your own opinions. We don't have to be, you know, all walking in lockstep. We're entitled to voice our opinions and stuff like that. But let's just, you know, remember that I think we're all pretty much, you know, on the same side here. And even if we're not on the same side, we are all are earthlings, you know. And so let's be civil to one another. Except for me. I can be uncivil to a few of you. I'm going to reserve the right as being sort of the title person here in this channel to kind of, you know, call someone a name, I guess. But even then, I try not to. Yeah, I try to keep it civil. But every now and then I let loose, you know. You know me. Let's see. MJ Daniel says 2016 it got so I wanted to put my foot through the TV screen every time the news started on the damn email crap. Yeah, and showed Hillary on her phone. It was ridiculous. I mean, they did the same thing to Howard Dean, right? With the Scream, which I had no problem with, but the media basically killed his campaign. The way they made fun of that Scream and just played it on an endless loop, you know. It's just ridiculous, and it is a double standard, because I don't see them doing that to the Republicans. How many campaigns have they killed of a Republican when it was just something kind of innocent, or, you know, that they played on a loop? I can't remember anything like that. It's kind of despicable what the mainstream media does. Tim Nelson, let me buy a beer. Maybe we're at the point where we need to chill out and go have a beer. Maybe, I don't know. Bicycle Mike 42, hello all from the mountains. Hello, Bicycle Mike. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us in the chat here. You don't like my music? Democrats are held to much higher standards than Republicans or Trump, apparently. And I mean, to the point where it's ridiculous. You're going to destroy a person's campaign because you didn't like the way they were enthusiastic about winning a primary, like Howard Dean, or you're going to try to denigrate, I guess, a presidency because the president wore a tan suit or something. It's ridiculous. And that's all you can find is these kind of ridiculous things to point out. Usually, you know, it's just. But meanwhile, you know, the Republicans can go after Clinton for a blowjob, or I guess it was more than one blowjob. but most of them are having affairs on their wives. Like most of those fuckers that were going after Clinton hard, they were all having affairs on their wives. So the hypocrisy, the double standard, we all know. We there's so many examples of it. We go over and over and over it. But still, it's kind of it's just frustrating. Mr. Spock says Al Franklin was railroaded. Yeah, he should have never. I mean, we've gone over that. I think that was a way, overblown, and he was, and the Republicans they went after him because they didn't like the questions he was hard hitting questions he would ask in these Senate hearings, and so yeah, it's more than just sad. It's frustrating. It's sad. It's anger inducing. But so we just need to support. We need to come in and support these candidates. Support these Democratic incumbents. We need to be involved and use our vote. Voting is our biggest tool that we have, our biggest right, I think, that we have. So don't take it for granted. Make sure you vote. And you know who I suggest vote for. But make your own decisions. But let's all vote. Tally41 says, I think Al Franken might run again. Yeah, I wonder if he's done. I kind of thought he was done because, he's got... I've listened to some of his podcasts and stuff, and he seems sort of content being in Minnesota. He's got grandkids, and he's spending time with family. So I don't know. He seems content in doing that. So I don't know. Eve says Trump should have been thrown in jail for gag order violations a long time ago. The damage he did since is horrific. Stands up and says USA is fascist and things are rigged. That is real damage. And again, there's more projection because the USA is not fascist, but he's fascist. He's a fascist. And he wants to bring fascism to America and make, fascism the main order of things here. It's just more projection on Trump's part. But yeah, I agree. He should be in jail. Bicycle Mike, vote blue or else. Vote blue or else. MJ Daniel, voting in your city and state elections is more important than ever. Yeah, we can't forget that. That is important. Absolutely. Voting all down to the U.S. federal elections, the state elections, your county elections, your city elections. They're all important. Eve says Congress made a huge error to not remove Trump on first impeachment. Well, yeah, and that was because the Republicans wouldn't vote to impeach him. Proud Dem, don't be afraid to tell the truth. How that person reacts to proving they are lying is their karma. Silence brings fascism. Yes, complacency. I once wrote an article called, I think, Complacency is Death. Something like that. You don't like my music? I'm old enough to remember when the term fascist was hyperbole. Yeah, I think I am too. I'm definitely old enough for that. Eve says the government is going to need to do major deprogramming. I don't know about that. If we need government deprogramming programs. But just let's work on getting the message out. Let's just keep working on that, getting the message of what Democrats are about, what we're for. Let's just keep getting the message out of the really great things that Biden has done. Insulin cap prices and other prescription drugs getting capped in prices. Student loan debt forgiveness for millions of people. Just having wages going up and unemployment going down and really having a kick-ass economy. The stock market. That's another thing. They said the stock market would go down if I don't know if did I have that meme? What meme is this here? Oh yeah. So there's this one here. that said that. Trying to move these around a little bit. That I'm getting sort of squeezed out here. As the Fox News said yesterday that the markets, and this is like from yesterday, I think, the markets would crash today if Donald Trump was convicted. The Dow gained nearly 600 points. MAGAs are delusional. So, we need to keep getting that message out. That this is a great Biden boom. Bidenomics is really, it's really doing good, and it didn't crash. And remember, Trump over and over has said, like, as soon as Biden is, if he wins, the economy is going to crash. Well, it didn't crash. And then it was like, well, if I get convicted, it's going to crash. Well, no, it didn't. It's not. That's all bullshit. All this shit that Trump says and that the right-wing media says, Fox News says, all these assholes, they're all full of shit. They're all just full of shit. And we can see here, Biden has been doing really great with the economy. That's the message we need to keep getting out. Brendan Triplet says, MJ Daniel, MAGAs here are running with no party affiliations listed. Where's that at, Brenda? Kim Pradim, know what someone reminded me that exists? Whiteboards. Change the message every day. I'm just cherry picking here a little bit. So Eve says people cannot survive or do lies like this and be threatened every day by the government. People have collapsed, and not only their health, but losing everything: homes, dignity, food, shelter cannot do. Big Hook says the deprogramming begins when Smartmatic and Dominion sue the right-wing media outlets into bankruptcy and the lies lose their microphone. MJ Daniel says every part of the economy has been showing improvement with President Biden. Yep, absolutely. You don't like my music, and the stock market isn't the economy. No, but it's still, they like to, a lot of the right wingers, they like to point to that when their guy's in there and give him credit for it. So I think it's only fair to give Democratic president credit for it too. Tim Nelson, they will drown in a blue wave, I guess. Oh, Paul Mannion. Jolie says, welcome to Paul Mannion. Did I skip? There's Paul Mannion. Oh, hi, everyone. How and on what grounds could Trump appeal? I don't know, but he's going to appeal, and I think it's going to get shot down. I don't think it's going to go very far, but I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I think they did say the grounds they would be appealing on, and it was really some flimsy horseshit type of thing. MJ Daniel says, MAGA running locally do not say so most of the time, but use the same MAGA language. Not hard to spot. Yeah, it's kind of like we have a mayoral race going on here in Las Vegas for the city of Las Vegas, and there was one candidate that I picked out as being total MAGA, so I scratched her off the list. There's a big long list of people running for mayor here. I'm still not 100% sure who I'm going to pick, but there is one person I know I'm not going to vote for, and she was a total maggot. Even though mayoral races are usually nonpartisan, meaning they don't have to say what party they're, affiliated with or whatever. But this one person was total maggot, so I'm like, scratch her off the list. Thank you for showing your true colors, so now I know who not to vote for. At least. You don't like my music? No one needs programming. We need our innate human capacities to be nurtured and developed. Eve said, yeah, what did Trump say about the high stock market? I cannot recall. It was something very odd. Well, I know he said that, like in this meme, that he said that if Biden's elected, the stock market will crash or whatever. MJ Daniel, it has been almost 4 years. This is totally the President Biden economy, and it will be even better with the full majority. That's right. We got to keep that blue wave going, baby. Keep it going. Keep it going. Kim Proud Dim says we don't need programming if we could get Fox fascism off the air. They should at least be, if they're going to call themselves news, they should at least be held to that, standard of having to just report the news and not all this opinion bullshit. Eve says, what is super weird is government or anyone saying go get a job. What? They don't know the market at all. Well, I think we're pretty much at full employment. Michael McAndrews, I vote to shut down faux news. One way we can shut it down is by not watching it. You don't like my music. Our innate sense of empathy, fairness, and decency has to be drilled out of us. Not sure what that means. Drilled by drilling it out of us. Tell you for one, you don't like my music. Deprogramming with truth and kindness. They are in a cult. Well, I do think that I know Wes has said in the past that you can't just keep calling them stupid and dumb. Because all that does is puts them on the offensive or defensive. No, it puts them on the defense, right? So I think we do have to handle, if we're talking about MAGA or hardcore right-wingers or whatever, we just have to arm ourselves with facts and the truth and try to get out the facts and the truth as best we can. I'm hoping to do that in some small part here on this show to try to get some facts out. I know I spent a lot of time just reading the chat, but you guys are good at getting the truth out, and we can all work together in getting the truth out. Because there's a lot of people that they don't even know. They didn't even know that Trump was on trial. I bet there's a lot of people that didn't even know that Trump was on trial until the big headlines came out about him losing, being found guilty on 34 counts. That was probably a big what? I didn't even know he was on trial. I would be willing to bet there was millions and millions and millions and millions of people who didn't even know he was on trial. Because I've had them in my car. I drive Uber, and I had them in my car. I've had some conversations with people who they just brought up Trump, just talking about Trump, and then I just assumed they knew about the trial, and I was like, yeah, well, what do you think of that today's trial? This is like a few weeks ago. What do you think about this testimony, or this thing, or what do you think about him falling asleep in court and farting and all this stuff? And he's like, what court? What are you talking about? And I'm like, oh yeah, you didn't know about the trial going on? And he's like, no. So I mean, I bet you there's lots of people who didn't even know he was on trial until these big giant headlines were all over the place about him losing, being found guilty on 34 counts. So I mean, so we need to get stuff out there. All of us, you, me, everyone's chat. We need to help the mainstream media. Help the mainstream media to be better. Let's get the information out. Let's do the job that they're not doing, I guess, apparently. Let's get out the true information of what's really happening, what's really going on. That's what we got to do. And I hope that in some small part, some small way, that I contribute to that in some little way. I know. And I'm trying to do a better job, of getting some information out, and I'm trying to learn more, because a lot of times I don't know shit. People bring stuff up in the chat, and I'm like, I didn't know that, so I'm trying to be a little more informed too. So I definitely need to work on that. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But anyhow, guys, it's getting really hot in this room. I've had the AC off for over 2 hours now, and it's getting hot. We are currently, according to my watch, it says it's 98 degrees outside. It's not 98 degrees in here, thank goodness. But it is getting kind of warm in here. So I think I'm going to end the show, turn my air conditioning on for a little bit, or for the rest of the day, until Monday on the next show. Or no, Tuesday. I keep saying Monday. I'm on Tuesday. I'll be on Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time. I'll see you guys again right here at the Trucker John channel, Trucker John live stream. So I hope to see you guys back. We had 115 likes. I really appreciate the likes. And 51 are in here watching. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. Really good to hang out with you. It was really good hanging with you guys. You guys are a good hang. You know, you guys are a good hang. But I'll see you Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Then Thursdays we come back again, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then we do a 3 p.m. Little warm up, little hangout pre-show. We just do an hour, and then we go. Well, I go to the House Spark show, and many of you guys in the chat will go over to Hal at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And then Saturdays, like we did today, normally it's a post-show hangout. There was Hal was off. He had a I guess because his Chud died, and I don't know if that was why, but there was other reasons, technical reasons. Because I know he's on the road, or I'm pretty sure he was on the road up in Seattle doing Sexy Liberals tonight. But next Saturday we'll be back again around 11 a.m. Pacific time, so to do a post-show hangout. So I hope you guys come back. It's been fun. It's been great hanging with you. You guys are awesome, and you know, I try to keep up with the chats, but I can't read it all. So thanks for bearing with me on that. And I hope we just get better and better and better as we go along. And I guess that's it. I'm gonna do a little stretching because I don't want to pull a hammy, but I'm also gonna try to work this shoulder out because I think do shoulders have hammies? I don't know. Guys. I'll see you guys Tuesday night.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodnight. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully. Nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes, but if we did, I'd be on too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stopped a truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle the skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back.